Awesome. Well, welcome to another one of our mental health moments. I'm loving doing these, connecting with people in our community who are impacting students, helping people with their mental health. And as we're learning, like spirituality is a huge protective factor for our mental health. And so I'm really excited to have my friend Andrew Perkett on here from Discovery Church. And we're just going to have a conversation. So Andrew, thanks so much for joining us in this mental health moment.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. Super honored to be a part of it.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about, what you do, who you are. Fill us in.
Totally. Awesome. So I'm Andrew, obviously. I am the high school pastor at Discovery Church and have been there for about 2.5 years. So the title's pretty self-explanatory, but I just have the honor to hang out and work with our high schoolers on a very, very regular basis.
That's awesome. You do some really, really great work. I like to pop in and see what you guys are doing, so it's always fun.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah. And then you're also part of like a network of youth pastors in the city. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the one, it's called The One, The One Network, out of the heart of we are one church, we're one city. So once a month, as many youth pastors as we can get, not just youth pastors, but youth workers in the city come together and hang out the first Thursday of the month. We find a new spot to meet every month. We hang out, we highlight some ministries, but really the heart and the core behind it is just to network, to connect, to pray for each other, to have conversations, see how each other are doing, be in relationship, bounce ideas off of each other, which is great. It's a lot of fun. It's really helpful. So yeah, it's just a great network of other youth workers in our city, and just seeing everybody's different demographic and what people are experiencing on their end of things.
Totally. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. So what's something like fun that you've done since you've been working from home?
Oh man, I have been playing so many video games.
Nice.
My office that you see here is about 10 feet away from my couch and my PlayStation. So I've gotten a lot better at video games. I have a lot of friends from college that will hop on and play with. I'll hop on with some high schoolers sometimes, and they want to play Fortnite still most of the time, and I'm not good at Fortnite. So that's just embarrassing. But yeah, that's probably been the big thing. And I've gotten my wife actually into video games, so she'll play some video games with me too. So I'd say that's a lot of the fun. Her and I have been watching through the Marvel series chronologically, so that's been a lot of fun. We're big superhero fans, so there has been a lot of good things that we wouldn't be able to do regardless, so
yeah,
we've been trying to make the most of it.
That's awesome. How far into the Marvel series are you?
So we just finished Guardians of the Galaxy 2 last night, so we've made our way past we're in between the first and second Avenger movies.
Nice.
So we're getting there.
You are, man. I have a friend who started, and she's like, well, I just started Captain Marvel. I was like, girl, you got like 17 more movies to go.
Yeah, chronologically, I'm pretty sure that's the second one, or at least that's how we watched it. So.
Yeah, that's fun. I was like, what a fun thing to do, though. My sister and I were trying to decide if we should just pick an actor and then just watch all of their movies. Wow. But we haven't been able to settle on an actor, so we haven't done that yet.
Jim Carrey. No, I love Jim Carrey.
I know. I only like maybe one of his movies.
That's fair.
We were gonna do Will Smith, but then I only like some of those movies, and then we were gonna do Bradley Cooper. We watched a few of those.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So that's what we've been doing, but
that's awesome.
So, fun things that you get to do. I was like, man, I haven't spent this much time with my younger sister in probably like 15 years. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So what has been something that, I know we're all in our houses, our norm is really mixed up. What has been something that's maybe been hard for you from working from home, and really like what have you done to help process some of that difficulty?
Yeah, so I mean, a huge part of my job is relationships with people. I mean, that's most of my job.
Hmm.
And so really that being cut off like cold turkey, that in-person relationship
Yeah.
has really been the hardest thing because not only is it a part of my job, but it's a part of my MO as a person.
Hmm.
I love being with people. I love spending time with people. I live really close to Wayfinder coffee shop. And
Hmm.
so that's my place to work. That's my place to meet with people, hang out with people. And, now that I can't go there, it's just been, it's hard for me to work from home. It's just a mental mindset thing for me. I was actually telling you about that earlier.
Hmm.
Um, so there is this big mental game of, um, it's so habitual for me to be in relationship with people in person. And so having to navigate,
Yeah.
what does relationship look like without that in-person interaction being able to be there?
Right.
Because, this is great, but it's still not the same.
Totally.
Texting is great, but it's not the same. I've been using Marco Polo a lot. It's great, but it's not the same.
Right.
So, so the big thing I've been trying to do is do as much of like Zoom or phone calls or FaceTime to where I hate texting now. It's the worst to me. I'm like, I'm people are probably getting sick of me trying to FaceTime and call them at this point. But really, it's been the big way for me to cope with it.
Yeah.
Is to still interact. But it's been a great chance for me to actually reach out to even old friends from college and just be super intentional with reconnecting a relationship. And that reconnecting piece has just filled a void in me of that relational piece.
Yeah.
Um, and then I do still get to interact with students, trying to call students, and um, we do a Zoom after our services every Wednesday night, and so there's still a little bit of interaction, but a big part of it is nothing's going to match that in person.
Right.
And so for a lot of it, we just got to wait this out.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. I know even for me, like historically, I'm an introverted person, but I'm like, even this, I'm like, man, I can't even imagine being one of those people like you who are so community driven that
Yeah.
you're separated from people. So yeah, I know many are feeling that and navigating that, and it's
Yeah.
hard, but I like that you've been utilizing our resources and tools in order to still engage in a different way. So yeah. So with all of your work that you're doing with students, what are you seeing or what are you hearing from your students as it relates to, their mental health or, navigating grief and loss or anxiety, sadness? Like, what are you hearing that might be helpful for the community to know as they're watching this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's so easy in this season. I think this is what students are feeling, is it's so easy to isolate,
Mhm.
even if it's not intentional, right?
Yeah.
Like to accidentally isolate. And what we're hearing from students is just how they're desperately missing school. They're desperately missing Wednesday nights. They're missing church, getting to hang out and be with people because, you know, every camp we go on, we take their phones away, and we end up hearing by the end of it, they're like, "Oh my goodness, it was amazing to not have my phone," right?
Yeah.
And I think there's a realization that all of us are having, not just their generation, but all of us are having of the value and importance of human connection in person,
Yeah.
and frankly that we were created for that. I mean, we
Hmm.
were created for that, and there's something that this will never do that
Right.
human interaction does. But the unfortunate part of that is that there's not choice in that. There's not an option to not be
Right.
like this. And so a lot of students, from what I'm hearing and understanding, is they feel helpless in
Mm.
this season, is that this isn't my choice. I
Yeah.
want to be around people, but I can't.
Hmm.
And the hard thing about media and social media right now is it doesn't paint the light at the end of the tunnel. It paints the picture that it's going to be like this for the rest of the year, maybe next year, maybe for the rest of your life, who knows, right? Like,
Yeah.
but media, especially social media, exaggerates things, and that's what
Mhm.
our students are seeing.
Yeah.
Because frankly, we haven't taught them well as older generations, to how to seek out more reliable sources.
Mhm.
So there's a feeling of helplessness and hopelessness. We don't know when this is going to end. There's fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're wanting to walk into that on a spiritual level,
Yeah.
because we believe that ultimately plays a role physically and mentally, and
Yeah.
it's all these other aspects.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. What have you been able to do anything or found anything helpful in those conversations with students, like helping with the hopelessness or helping to see like, hey, let's just take it a week at a time, or like anything like that that you want to share?
Yeah, we've actually been inviting students into helping us plan what service looks like when we come back.
Oh.
So we're having students help us plan that out and help us
Mm.
plan service and help us. We're bringing them into the process of what we're doing so that they're not just watching a weekly service and just like, cool, I guess I'll wait till the next service next week. What they're getting to look forward to is what they're helping us create, for when they come back. Like, it's
That's
giving them
awesome.
something to look forward to.
That's awesome.
And so just inviting them into that process. Um, and even if they're not making decisions, some of them are helping us make decisions, but even the ones who aren't helping make decisions, we're trying to keep them updated of like, guys, here's some exciting things that is coming up that we're planning,
Yeah.
that, we have on the charts. It's just giving them something to look forward to, because that is the piece of like, oh, there is a light at the end of this tunnel. There is
Hmm.
something, because they just feel like there's not anything they can look forward to. They're like,
Right.
oh, there is something that I get to look forward to.
Hmm.
And so we're just trying to provide that light at the end of the tunnel, give them some hope in that. And then we're really walking into practically day by day, how do you guys do this? So I'm on Instagram Live every single day, twice a day, in order to, our first one in the morning at 10 o'clock, I'm doing a Bible study. And so we're reading through some of the Bible, and I'm just bringing encouragement and I'm praying for them. And
Yeah.
so we're starting with a positive note. And then
Hmm.
at 1 o'clock, we just spend time. So I bring students on live. You've been on live with me, hanging out
Hmm.
and talking to our students, bringing other youth pastors into it. So it's literally, we're on it every single day,
That's awesome.
giving them something to be a part of,
Yeah.
in this season.
Yeah, that's so great. And I think consistency, like right now, all of us are experiencing like our routine is like out the window. So having, consistency is so, so key and so important.
Yeah,
So thanks for doing that.
absolutely.
And I
Yeah,
know you guys also did, what was it, your open mic night with like on
we did.
Instagram Live. So
Yeah. Yeah, we
that's a
did. That
fun.
was actually super fun. We didn't know how it was going to work out or turn out, but it
Hmm.
was great. We went on Instagram Live, and then whenever a student wanted to show a talent or do something, we just brought them on the live with us on Instagram.
Yeah.
And we had people playing drums, guitar, telling jokes, all sorts of stuff. We
Yeah.
went on for an hour. Students in the comments were celebrating each other. It was amazing. Yeah.
That is so
Um,
cool.
yeah, it was so fun.
I
Yeah.
love that. Being creative and doing that's really great. Yeah.
Thank you.
So as we think, like what are ways that the community can help be a support to, faith communities, to youth pastors? Like what are ways that the community can support you and others that during this season?
Yeah. I think some of the biggest ways are, um, man, that's actually a really hard question that I've not really thought about a lot.
That's
um,
fair.
this may not feel super, uh, I guess practical um, or whatever, but I mean, encouragement goes a long way. And I know there's a lot of ministers, not just in our city, but across the nation, who are
Mhm.
just like, you know, church is about community. It is.
Yeah.
It is about being together. It's about this unity that we have as a church, as people. And not having that, I know there's a lot of pastors who just feel like, I'm just failing in this season, right?
Yeah.
And so, really just, if there is somebody in your circle, if there is a minister in your circle, um, in this season, just bringing encouragement, seeing them. And I know that sounds simple. It doesn't sound like crazy, but encouragement it does go a long way, especially in a season like this.
Yeah.
I'm a part of some youth pastor pages on Facebook and all these, and the most common thing is people are posting just like, is anyone else just incredibly discouraged? And it's like, well, most people are, because this isn't what we're used to, right?
Right.
And so even if it is just, and it doesn't even have to be a minister or a faith community, like there are a lot of people who are doing a lot of great things. I mean, even like you, Brittany, and Education for a Lifetime, you guys doing this is amazing, and so with more encouragement from us as people to each other, as a whole, again, it seems so small, but when someone tells me I'm doing a good job or that they appreciate me, I mean, it motivates me to keep going. It really does. So I guess that would just be my encouragement. And then if like we still want to help, and so if you know somebody who needs encouragement from a faith community, let us know, and we want to be a part of that. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I think encouragement is huge, and it is, you mentioned like with the students just getting, there's no hope, I'm only hearing bad news, like us adults as well are in that. And so it's like, just hearing encouragement, like, hey, mom who's never homeschooled your kids, like, you're doing a great job. Like, youth pastor who's now doing online services and you've never done that before, like, you're doing a great job. And how important, just like, you're doing a good job, keep up the good work, like how great and important that can be for our mental health. And so thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So if there's like students that want to get connected with like what you're doing at Discovery, what's the best way for them to like engage with your online services or Instagram?
Yeah, totally. So we do have a YouTube page that we live stream from every Wednesday night at 7:00. And then we're very active, like you said, and like I've mentioned, on our Instagram pages. So we have 2 separate pages, one for high school, one for middle school, where devos happen, there's games, there's a lot of interaction that happens. We actually hop on Instagram live before service, and then we go to YouTube live where we have service there. It's worship and message. Our message is not like stand in front and give a message. Our middle school pastor and myself, we sit down and we just have a conversation, very much of a podcast feel to it.
Cool.
So yeah, the easiest way is to just follow our social media, subscribe to our YouTube page, and yeah, you can be a part of it that way. So
awesome.
And then worst case, if you go to the church's website, livetorescue.com, my email's in there, the middle school pastor's email is in there. Cool. Just contact us personally. So
awesome. Great. That's so, we'll definitely share that as well so people can be connected. And the more we can just engage in gratitude is what I heard from this conversation, and really like engage in spirituality, that I think really brings a lot of peace in the midst of chaos and really can help set us on the right track in the midst of all of this uncertainty. So appreciate all the work that you're doing, Andrew, and all that you're doing to connect with students, other faith community leaders, and everything that you do in the city. So
thank you.
Yeah, thanks for your time today and for sharing. And it's an honor to partner with you and so many people in our community as we work with students and as we help keep people safe and alive and give them hope in this season. So thank you so much.
Yep, and thank you. Appreciate what you guys are doing.
Yeah.